Yeah. Let's get it in. Let's get it in. Let's get it in. Brand Power Direct, it's your guy, Rhett Butler, man. Listen, boxing. If you didn't know, I am a member of the Boxing Writers Association of America. Shout out to Joe Santalaquito, our president. I get a Hall of Fame vote, man, you know, and I have a company called Fight Services. I've been running fights, facilitating the back of house, front of house, everything, logistics, showrunner, all of that for almost 20 years. No lie. Your boy got many, many talents, and I also, obviously, with my branding and marketing information and expertise, I help a lot of promoters also understand how to market themselves better and market their promotions. So I say all that to say, I know what I'm talking about, and today we're talking about Tank Davis, who has decided to not fight Lamont Roach and instead to give a shot to Jake Paul in an exhibition fight, which, you know, we're going to get into this. We got to get into this. Branding is perception, all right? So if you haven't heard anything else from me ever, just know that that's my belief in relation to branding. It is called perception. There's no other definition that fully encompasses what branding is except perception, because that's all you're creating with a brand. Now, there's many derivatives of the brand, right? A logo, T-shirts, website, like all of these things, commercials, ads, social media, everything you're doing is to facilitate and incubate a perception that you want to plant into the end user's mind. That's it. We know it. We get it. But what you got to understand is that when you start to go to the left or to the right with your brand, your audience is going to react in kind. Case in point, Gervonta Tank Davis. Champ. I get it. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. You know, he's been catching a couple of DVs. I don't get into people's personal business, but he's been catching some DVs. One was caught on camera. You know, we don't condone anything that involves harming people, especially women. Beyond that, you know, he's been in the cell, you know. I mean, he's been through some things, and guess what? We all go through things in life, right? So we're not condemning. We're not touching women, but we're not condemning life circumstances that might put you behind bars, right? Everybody's redeemable. Most people are redeemable. Let me stop that, because we do know some people that out here that, hey, yo. But what I'm going to say is this, Mr. Gervonta Tank Davis. You fought to a majority draw Lamont Roach Jr. Got to add the junior because his pops is awesome. Lamont Roach Jr. And what the world saw when you took that knee was a crack in the Tank Davis armor. You've looked impenetrable as a brand and as an athlete for a long time. And when you took that knee, people were like, what? And then, of course, the ref didn't call it. Look, respect to that ref. I'm not mad at you, fam, but you ain't call it right. That should have been a knockdown. He took a knee. You know, when you look at what happened with Tank versus Ryan Garcia, and I was at that fight, Ryan Garcia got hit, I believe, in the liver, and he took a knee. So, you know, it got ruled a knockdown. So what I'm saying is, what you got to do is you got to be consistent out here, because that's the biggest problem with boxing, is that people feel like there's no consistency in the calls and that it's like the wild, wild west. You know what I'm saying? But that knee that was taken was crazy. Yeah, Ryan Garcia and Tank, they fought at a catch weight of 136 pounds. In the 7th round, it was ruled a knockout where Gervonta, you know, kept the WBA and WBC and got the WBC interim lightweight title. But yeah, right. Gervonta Davis knocked out Ryan Garcia in the 7th round with a body shot to Ryan Garcia's right abdomen to unify the titles. After staggering backwards, Ryan Garcia took a knee, holding the right side of his body. The fight was praised by commentators. A knee's a knee, man. I'm breaking this down so y'all understand. A knee's a knee. Tank took a knee. Period. 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 So that was a bad look for boxing, man. That was a bad look for boxing that day. Number one, boxing took a L because we don't want people to always say, "Oh, boxing's fake and it's scripted," and like there's all these scripted. It's ridiculous. Like no, Lamont Roach and Tank fought March 2025 of this year, which is why it's so fresh. Still, it's fresh. Tank, you should have just fought Lamont again. Where Gervonta retained his WBA lightweight title, but that was a bad look, man. That was a bad look. In the 9th round, Davis took a knee following a quick jab from Roach. Davis then walked to his corner, motioned towards his left eye, and was wiped with a towel. So what he was saying was basically he was taking a self-timeout. Referee Steve Willis, dude with the big eyes, you know what I'm talking about. I had to give you that. What did Steve Willis do? He incorrectly did not call it a knockdown against Davis. Incorrectly, the internet says, this is not just me, incorrectly did not call it a knockdown. Had the knockdown been correctly called, Roach would have won via unanimous decision and resulted in the first loss of Davis's career. I'm going to drink my Indulge water. Shout out to Indulge, black owned. Let's get it, baby. Alkaline for yourself. Artisan in alkaline. Shout out to the homie. That's some good water. This is monumental. The last impression Tank Davis's fans has on his brand is he robbed Lamont Roach Jr. This is what the people feel. I live in the DMV. Lamont Roach is from the DMV. Everywhere I go after that fight, I went out to eat. I went to a hibachi spot. Shout out to Hibachi in Woodmore Town Center. Word. Everybody in the hibachi spot was talking about Lamont Roach getting robbed. In boxing circles, they say the same thing. Tank knows what's going on here. In fact, Tank himself said, let's do the rematch. Run it back. The world wanted to see them run it back. He's not running it back. Instead, he's running to Jake Paul. Now, let's talk about why this is going to be a bad look for Tank Davis's career and his brand. I want to stick to the branding. This is a bad look for his brand. I'm going to say why. Not for his wallet. He's going to get paid because people love a circus. Why do y'all love a spectacle so much? Y'all love the circus. Lions, tigers, bears, oh my. Like, y'all enjoy every part of this. But this is going to be a bad look for Tank's brand. I'm going to tell you why. Number one, let me be clear. I went to Floyd versus Logan Paul. I went to that fight. I went to the fight mainly because I'm a Floyd fan in terms of boxing. And I was like, well, even though this is a gimmick, spectacle, I want to see, if this is going to be Floyd's last stand on anything, even though it's an exhibition, I want to be there, right? Little did I know he would do other exhibitions just out the country. But because Floyd has fought domestically for so long, I just felt like Floyd was going to just stay around town, whatever, and this is going to be the last one. Anyway, I went to the fight where the Dolphins play in Miami. Trash. Like, look, honestly, what I enjoyed the most was watching T.O. fight the MMA guy. That was the best thing happening that day because Chad Ochocinco, pardon me. Chad Ochocinco. He fought the MMA guy. Chad talks hella trash. I just like seeing Chad challenge himself. I respect Chad Ochocinco for this, B. Word. You doing your thing with that. I like that. And he said he's supposed to be fighting somebody else coming up soon. I forgot who, but I remember the name. It'll come back to me. But he's fighting somebody else soon. You know what I'm saying? I like this. I like when other athletes try to jump in the box, and that's a good look. But, beyond that, that fight was garbage. First of all, Logan Paul was so much bigger than Floyd, man. Pause. Like, it was weird. Like, this, I don't want to see David and Goliath fights. It reminds me like back in the day when UFC first started, and it was a complete sham in the circus, right? It was like, the sumo versus the karate. Listen, Leave all of that for Street Fighter, Tekken, all the video games, right? Because that is a fantastical situation. Leave that for there. But in real life, we need weight classes for a reason. We need even matchups for a reason. And might I say, the Georgia State Athletic Commission, or if they're taking their advice from Vegas, I don't know. Because Vegas is like the marquee organization in combat sport officiation. They haven't even sanctioned the fight yet, right? It's an exhibition bout, but who knows if it's real? Just like we hearing about Mike Tyson's going to fight Floyd. Who knows if that's real? I don't know. But Jake Paul versus Tank Davis, I mean, why do you even want to see this? Like, the thing that sucks about all of us, and I'm putting myself in that pot, is we're going to all watch it in clips or live, like clips on the internet or live, because we all love the circus. Like, we're all really weird. Like, I'm keeping it a buck, man. We're all strange as hell. But this is not a good look for Tank's brand. It's not a good look for Tank's brand. And then Tank is doubling down with the weirdo energy while still saying he's going to fight the guy. Recently, Tank hinted at Jake Paul using PEDs, performance-enhancing drugs, during a tense back-and-forth exchange they had to promote the fight. I'm like, really, bro? First of all, Jake Paul is like 6'1" on paper, and he weighs 199.4 for his last fight against Julio Cesar Chavez. So basically, he walks around like 200 plus. Tank is listed at 5'5", and that's a little generous. You know what I mean? He's probably like 5'4", 5'4.5". Respectfully, I'm not coming for you, Tank. If you 5'5", we good. I don't want no smoke. By the way, Sports Illustrated said, although there's a chance he's even shorter than that, so I'm reading that. He weighed in at his last fight at 133.8 pounds, 133.8 pounds against Lamont Roach. Why do we want to see this? You're outweighing him by 60-something pounds, man. This is weird. It's so obvious this is happening for the bag. The only upside is for Jake Paul. He's a master of gimmickry and circus level performances in boxing. Now, he's been doing his thing, winning. But, like, what is this? Like, there's no wins, there's no losses in this. Like, the guy's a midget compared to you, dog. Who cares? Like, it's kind of stupid. I mean, what is he? He's going to beat up your ribs and your, like, remember, he can't hit below a certain point. So he's only hitting, like, there's only so much he can do unless Jake's going to crouch down and give him some pot shots. The fight against Logan Paul with Floyd was weird, and I thought it was super unnecessary. So that's why I'm saying all of this, because I'm like, y'all are out here with the energy. Meanwhile, you got Terrence Crawford chasing greatness against Canelo Alvarez. Win, lose, or draw. Terrence is chasing greatness, man. That's all that's happening with him. Tank, you lose market share with your fan base. One, this is what I would be saying to him if I was in his team. You lose a market share with your fan base. You're going to gain a bag and lose boxing fans, like real boxing fans. And then third, how do we look at your career after this? Like, Lamont Roach is now going to fight Isak Pitbull Cruz. That's a good fight, man. Like, Isak Pitbull Cruz made his name against you, sir. He did the same thing to you that Lamont Roach did to you. Looked like he won. And now those two are going against each other. Perfect matchup. Whoever put that together, if that's Al Heyman, Strong J, sir, you crushing it with that one, dog. That's amazing right there. Meanwhile, Tank is going over here to fight Jake Paul. Like, we did not need this at all, sir. We didn't. And to be honest, there's a lot more on the line than just your pride. Like, boxing needs real fights, man. We are deprived from bad marketing and bad matchups from the past, and people have a long memory with boxing for some reason. Their memory is long. They will bring up something from the 90s, right? To be like, that's why I don't like boxing. But we've had a resurgence. Boxing savants and fans, like, everything is great. You were supposed to fight Lamont Roach Jr. again, Tank, period. That's legacy building. Cats ain't getting no younger, man. This is where we at right now. You just fought dude in March. You should have fought him at the end of the year, like you're saying you're going to fight Jake Paul, I think November 14th in Atlanta. That could have been you versus Lamont. And in the A is perfect. If it was either the A or it would have been here. You know what I'm saying? DC or Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? Like, probably, I'm going to keep it a buck. I mean, I know the money is in the A or or Vegas or whatever, but you probably should have fought Lamont in Baltimore. Battle of the Beltway. That would have been crazy. But legacy-wise and branding-wise, right now you're falling into the lane of like the Kai Cenats or something. Like this is like a streamer's paradise world where anything goes. It's weird. The matchups are kooky. Like that's what that is to me, man. This is not for boxing fans. Like, and your legacy is rooted in boxing, real boxing. I get it. Your mentor was Floyd. He's showing you the way of the exhibition, and the bag can still be crazy fat. But you are still a professional fighter, sir. You are not retired. So this is what's leading me to believe that this is Tank's swan song to retirement. I think between Isaac Cruz and Lamont Roach, he is like, you know what? It might be time for the kid to go. This is what I think. Because what else? Why would you take this fight right now when Lamont Roach is the fight for you? I mean, there's no other fight out there that makes sense right now for Gervonta to get the smut off his name in the sense of how people look at Lamont's performance, right? Isaac Cruz, you beat him in 2021. Again, some people think that Isaac either should have got a draw or won that fight. You know, you got a UD. Congratulations, sir. But since then, you knocked out Rolly. You know, you beat Hector Garcia, you beat Ryan, you beat Frank Martin. Good job. Lamont Roach was it, dog. I mean, I'm just keeping it real with you. Like, I'm really talking to his team. Whoever's on your team doing your branding, your marketing, you should have probably told him, yo, real talk, let's save Jake till 2026. He's still going to be there. You're not going to lose a Jake Paul fight if you fight Lamont Roach and lose, actually. You're not going to lose. Jake Paul's not going to fight Lamont Roach. You're still Tank Davis. You still got it. I just feel like, I don't know, man. Tank, but got to do better. Look at this. I just want to show you all this real quick. You know what I'm saying? Spence Crawford. I was there. This was chasing greatness right here. This guy was the underdog. But now, look at what he did to Errol Spence's career. Now Spence is the underdog. Right? Tank, he pushed you, meaning Lamont. You should have fought him. Branding-wise, just like you took an L in my mind with the Chrome Heart situation, right? You shouldn't have been. You were glazing. I'm gonna use the young boys' terms. You were glazing for Chrome Hearts for hella long, hitting the bag, the gloves, the shorts, and you wasn't getting no paper for that. No mignon, you know what I'm saying? No bag, no quan. No paper, homie. Like, we cannot just be giving away all this cultural currency. Y'all just be giving it away and then get mad when these people that wasn't part of the culture are like, well, you already brought me the fan base. Good luck. I don't need to drop nothing on you. That's on you. So now the fans that are sticking with you, you're going to piss them off and go fight Jake Paul? Lamont Roach was now. And if Lamont beats Isaac Cruz, which is looking very likely, you're going to look even worse, dog. Like, real talk. So, again, to the team behind Tank Davis, please, y'all got to talk to your fighter, man. I get it. He's a grown-ass man. But y'all got to talk to your fighter. Because now you're losing more real estate in the minds of your core consumers. Brand Power Direct. My name is Rhett Butler. BrandPowerDirect.com coming soon. I will let y'all know when we up live. We are like right there. No Dr. Umar. The school will open. It's going to be branding courses, classes, everything for you. If you're in the DMV, I'm going to have in-person sessions in our studio. Shout out to the studio at Gateway where I'm at right now. And all of that good stuff to teach you how to get on your grizzly in front of these cameras for hosting, brand ambassadorship, all that kind of stuff that I get done. Whether you knew that or not, it goes down. Bag dropped. All that. Holler at us. Brand Power Direct on IG. We coming back strong with that, with the campaigns on that. And either way, subscribe, man. We here for you. We got that content for your ass. Full tank. Fight those who want to fight you and are worthy of it in boxing. Leave the Jake Pauls for retirement. They ain't going nowhere. My name is Rhett Butler, Chief Brand Strategist. I'm out. Keep fighting, baby.
delightful, delicious gelato? Don't mind if I do. Jolie's plant-based gelato, plant-based luxury redefined.